You're about to watch a video that could permanently shift the way you deal with women, the way women respond to you, and even the way people in general treat your presence. This isn't surface-level advice you scroll through and forget. What you're going to hear can reshape your confidence, your communication, and the aura of influence you carry in every interaction. The video is split into two transformative parts. Each one is designed to uncover secrets that almost no one talks about, principles of human psychology, attraction, and influence that separate the average man from the man who naturally commands attention. Part 1 is your foundation. Here we'll expose the hidden rules of communication, the subtle, unspoken forces that shape respect, attraction, and social power. You'll learn how to speak like someone whose presence fills a room, whose words carry weight, and whose confidence lingers long after he leaves. You'll also see the sharp contrast between weak, hesitant communication and the kind of direct, powerful speech that makes women curious, makes men respect you, and makes everyone lean in to listen. Part 2, which we'll get into later, goes deeper. It takes you inside the subconscious radar every woman uses the moment she notices you. You'll learn how your body language, your mindset, and even the tone of your voice silently trigger attraction before she even realizes what's happening. This isn't theory. It's not a collection of corny pickup lines or scripted routines. It's practical knowledge you can apply in any conversation, any setting immediately. By the time you finish this video, your entire perspective on social dynamics will shift. You'll see interactions with new eyes. You'll notice signals that used to slip past you, and you'll carry yourself with a clarity and purpose that people instinctively respond to. So pay attention, because what you're about to hear can literally change the way people respond to you for the rest of your life. The surface rules versus the hidden rules. Human interaction operates on two levels of rules. The first level is obvious, visible, and easy to learn. These are the rules of manners, etiquette, tone, and basic politeness. Break them and you'll seem rude or awkward. Keep them and you'll blend in politely. This is a layer most men obsess over, thinking that being nice, funny, or polite is enough. But beneath those visible rules lies a second set, the hidden rules. And these are the real game changers. They are subtle, unspoken, and almost invisible. They govern attraction, influence, and respect. They are psychological triggers wired into human nature. These hidden rules dictate how a woman evaluates you before you even finish your first sentence. They shape whether other men listen to you or ignore you. They decide whether your presence creates intrigue or gets forgotten instantly. Most men never even notice these rules exist. They stumble, they hesitate, they overexplain themselves, or they try too hard to impress. They speak words, but their energy has no weight. And because they don't understand the deeper layer, they can't figure out why people don't take them seriously. The truth is this: communication isn't just words. It's timing, tone, posture, body language, and the presence behind the words. When you master the hidden rules, you unlock the ability to pull attention without forcing it, to draw curiosity without trying, and to command respect without demanding it. The core struggle men face. Here's the biggest problem. Most men know what to say, but they don't know how to be felt. They might memorize clever lines, practice jokes, or rehearse the perfect introduction. But when the energy behind those words is hesitant, needy, or uncertain, the message falls flat. Words without presence are empty. They have no magnetism. They don't cut through the noise. But once you understand the hidden rules, you begin to communicate on a deeper level. You bypass surface logic and touch the subconscious. Suddenly your words feel heavy, like they matter. Suddenly people lean in when you speak. Suddenly women remember you after one interaction. It's not magic, it's alignment. It's your tone, your pace, your silence, and your energy working together. And when you carry this into every interaction, conversations stop being stressful. They become stages where your presence naturally sparks curiosity, attraction, and respect. Indirect versus direct communication. Now let's break down one of the most important hidden rules, the difference between indirect and direct communication. Every interaction flows through these two channels. Indirect communication is subtle, cautious, and protective. It's filled with hints, suggestions, or softened words. This is a default for most women who are socially conditioned and biologically wired. to maintain harmony and avoid unnecessary conflict. Indirect communication isn't weakness. It's self-protection. It's a way to test, to gauge, or to soften rejection. For example, when a woman says, "You're sweet, but I don't think this will work," that's indirect communication. She's signaling a boundary without making it brutal. She's protecting herself and you from unnecessary conflict. Direct communication, on the other hand, is clear, assertive, and unambiguous. It states intentions. It sets boundaries. It reveals truth without sugarcoating. Historically, this was how men naturally communicated. It was a language of strength, leadership, and action. But here's the trap. Over time, society, upbringing, and fear of rejection have trained men to hide behind indirect communication. They soften their words, seek approval, or over-explain themselves. And this is where attraction dies. When a man responds to indirect signals with indirect energy, he reinforces weakness. He apologizes, pleads, or tries to convince. His vibe mirrors the cautiousness of her message, and she instantly feels a lack of strength. But when a man responds with directness, everything shifts. Directness communicates clarity, security, and inner strength. It signals that you don't need approval. You already own your value. And that signal, on a subconscious level, is magnetic. Shadow and light. Think of it this way. Indirect communication is shadow play. It's subtle, hidden, mysterious. Direct communication is light. It's bold, decisive, and undeniable. Neither is wrong. The key is learning when to use each, when to play with subtlety and when to shine with clarity. The men who master this balance become unforgettable. They don't stumble in hesitation. They navigate conversations with precision. They know when to tease and when to lead. And this is exactly what keeps women intrigued. Conversations alive, and your presence undeniable. Why directness feels magnetic. Imagine you're in a restaurant. The waitress asks, "Are you ready to order?" Most men respond timidly. Yeah, I'll have the chicken Alfredo, please." The words are polite, but the energy is weak. It sounds like they're asking for permission, like they're not sure themselves. That vibe communicates uncertainty louder than the words themselves. Now compare it to this. "Yes, I'll take the chicken Alfredo." Clear, decisive, confident, no permission asked, no hesitation. The difference is tiny in words, massive in energy. Direct communication signals strength. It shows you know what you want. It shows you value yourself. And it shows you don't fear being misunderstood or rejected. That's why women are drawn to it subconsciously. That's why men respect it. That's why people remember it. And here's the part most guys miss. It's not about arrogance. It's not about being rude. It's about clarity. It's about presence. And it's about aligning your words with an energy of certainty. This is the beginning of speaking like a man who doesn't just talk, he influences. Who doesn't just participate, he leads. Let's take what we've uncovered and go deeper. Because knowing the difference between indirect and direct communication is powerful, but embodying it in real life is where transformation begins. Direct communication isn't about volume. It isn't about being louder, meaner, or more aggressive. It's about clarity. It's about a man who speaks with intention, who makes decisions with certainty, and who carries himself like someone who doesn't ask the world for permission to exist. Women, men, strangers, everyone responds to this differently. Why? Because directness taps into something primal. Why women respond to direct communication. Women often communicate indirectly, not because they lack confidence, but because evolution trained them to avoid unnecessary conflict and preserve social harmony. Subtlety, hints, and polite phrasing are their default. Men, on the other hand, were historically shaped to act, decide, and lead. Direct communication was a survival trait. It signaled strength and the ability to take control of uncertain situations. So when a man speaks directly today, even in something as small as ordering food or inviting someone out, it subconsciously activates an ancient signal. This man is stable. This man is confident. This man can lead. Here's what directness communicates instantly. Dominance. Not in an overbearing way, but in the sense of being in control of yourself and your reality. Confidence. It shows you don't need validation. You already know who you are. Respect. People respect clarity because it makes their world easier. A decisive man makes decisions simple for everyone else. This is why women find direct communication magnetic. It signals qualities evolution wired them to find attractive: stability, strength, reliability. Men notice it too, but they consciously label it as leadership. Real-life scenarios. Let's ground this with a few simple examples. At a party, a man approaches a group and says, "Let's grab a drink over there." He doesn't plead, doesn't ask for permission. He states. Instantly, people follow. The clarity is magnetic. Inviting a woman out, instead of mumbling, "Would you maybe like to go out sometime?" He says, "We should check out that new cafe this weekend." It's assertive, clear, and impossible to confuse. In the workplace, weak, "I was thinking maybe we could try this approach." Strong, "I'm implementing this approach because it gets results." The second version radiates leadership. People lean towards certainty. This is what most men don't realize. The way you speak signals your value more than the words themselves. Politeness without presence is forgettable. Directness with conviction is unforgettable. The warrior way of speaking. If you want to master this, you have to think of yourself as a warrior, not in the sense of fighting everyone, but in the sense of owning your energy, your presence, and your words. Here's the framework. Start sentences with I. Using I shows ownership. Compare weak. "Do you think we can maybe go there?" Strong. "I'm going there." Ownership is magnetic. It tells people you take responsibility for your choices. Make statements, not questions. A warrior doesn't plead. He asserts. Weak. "Do you want to try this?" Strong. "We're doing this." Statements project decisiveness. Use positive expectations. Speak as though things will go your way. Weak. "I hope this works out." Strong. "This will work out." Expectation shapes reality. People unconsciously mirror certainty. Strategic silence. After a strong statement, pause. Don't rush to fill the gap. Silence amplifies authority. Example. "We leave at 7 sharp." Then pause. The silence adds weight. Master rhythm. Speak slowly and deliberately. Cut out filler words like or maybe. Let each word land. A warrior's words are measured, sharp, and impossible to ignore. Accept awkwardness. At first, speaking like this feels unnatural. But every time you assert yourself, your brain rewires. Over time, confidence becomes your baseline. Focus on energy, not just content. The same words delivered with hesitation or conviction feel completely different. A warrior speaks from inner belief, not external approval. Practical example. The bar. Imagine you're at a bar. A woman approaches. Most men panic, stumble, or try too hard. Weak. "Hey, do you want to talk?" Warrior. "I want to hear your story." Then pause. The words aren't flashy. They're simple. But the energy is bold, confident, and magnetic. She feels it instantly. Consistency over perfection. Here's what you need to remember. This isn't about perfection. You don't need to get every sentence right. What matters is consistency. Every time you speak with ownership, assertiveness, and certainty, you build a habit, and habits shape identity. Over time, your communication shifts permanently. People start to expect your presence. They start to notice your confidence, and you start to feel a deeper self-assurance in every interaction. Why this works everywhere. This isn't just about dating. It applies everywhere in life. At work, the man who speaks directly gets promoted faster. With friends, the man who makes decisive plans becomes a natural leader. In relationships, the man who sets clear boundaries earns respect instead of resentment. Directness communicates 3 qualities people crave in a leader. Dominance, the ability to take charge. Courage, the willingness to face rejection or conflict without flinching. Self-value, the understanding that you don't need outside validation to confirm your worth. These signals are universal. They work in every niche of human interaction. Whether you're negotiating, flirting, presenting, or simply ordering food, directness changes the way people see you. Energy speaks louder than words. Remember this. Words are only half the story. The energy behind them is what people feel. Say, I want you to join me tonight, with hesitation, and it sounds needy. Say it with certainty, steady tone, eye contact, and it sounds irresistible. Say, I'm leading this project nervously, and people doubt you. Say it firmly, and people fall in line. Energy is the amplifier. When your body language, tone, and words align, you don't just talk, you project. The evolutionary signal. Humans are wired to respond to leaders. We're drawn to those who take decisive action and speak with clarity. This isn't cultural. It's biological. It goes back to survival. When you speak directly, you're signaling leadership. You're signaling courage. You're signaling high value. And people are drawn to that signal like gravity. This is why men who master direct communication often notice everything in life getting easier. Doors open. Conversations flow. Respect comes naturally. Every interaction is practice. Here's the secret. You don't need a stage or a huge audience to practice. Every small daily interaction is a chance to sharpen this skill. Ordering food, asking for directions, giving your opinion, inviting someone out. Each time you practice direct, assertive communication, you reinforce a habit. Over weeks and months, it compounds into a natural aura of confidence that people feel immediately. Closing part 2. So far, you've learned the foundation of powerful communication. You've learned why directness is magnetic, why it works on a primal level, and how to start speaking like a warrior who commands respect without forcing it. But this is only the beginning, because part 3 is where we take the mask off completely. It's where you'll discover the hidden radar inside every woman, the subconscious system she uses to evaluate you the second she lays eyes on you. You'll learn how your body language, your mindset, and even the smallest nonverbal cues trigger attraction on a level deeper than words. And you'll learn how to use this radar to your advantage. So she thinks about you, wonders about you, and remembers you long after the conversation ends. You now understand the foundation, direct, assertive communication. You've seen how it shapes perception, triggers respect, and alters the way both men and women respond to you. But here's where things get even more powerful. Because while words matter, there's something deeper running in the background. Something that silently influences how women feel about you the second you step into their world. I'm talking about the subconscious radar. Every woman has it. It's not a conscious choice. It's biological, evolved, and automatic. The moment you enter a room, her subconscious begins scanning. Within seconds, she evaluates your presence, your body language, your tone, and the way you carry yourself. She doesn't even realize it's happening, but the verdict forms instantly. Is this man attractive? Is he confident? Is he valuable? This radar is always on. And once you understand how it works, you can align yourself with it in ways that trigger intrigue, curiosity, and attraction without ever trying too hard. The silent evaluation. Here's what her subconscious looks for in the first 10 seconds. Body language. Do you stand tall, relaxed, open, or do you shrink, fidget, and hide? Your posture tells her immediately whether you're confident or insecure. Eye contact. Strong, steady eye contact signals presence. Avoidance signals uncertainty. Tone of voice. A calm, deliberate voice radiates strength. A rushed, shaky tone screams nervousness. Energy. This is hard to define, but instantly felt. Do you project calm certainty, or do you radiate neediness and doubt? Notice something important. None of these things are about your words. They're about your state. Before you've spoken a single sentence, her radar has already picked up signals that determine how she perceives you. How men get this wrong. Most men try to talk their way into attraction. They memorize clever lines, rehearse jokes, or try to impress with stories. But because their body language, tone, or energy is out of alignment, the radar picks up on insecurity. Result? Their words don't matter. The subconscious verdict is already made. That's why you can't fake confidence. You can't memorize your way into attraction. You have to embody it. You have to align your communication, your body language, and your energy so that the radar reads confidence, certainty, strength. How to trigger the radar in your favor. So how do you do it? How do you send the right signals from the very start? Own your space. Walk into a room with relaxed posture. Shoulders back, chest open, eyes scanning with ease. Don't rush, don't fidget. You're not trying to take up space. You already own it. Master your tone. Speak slowly, clearly, and deliberately. Let silence do some of the work. Don't race to fill every gap. Your calmness signals control. Lead with intention. Whether you're inviting her out, giving your opinion, or just introducing yourself, speak with decisiveness. Example, I'm heading to the cafe on Saturday. Join me. Simple, confident, intentional. Stay unshaken. When rejection or resistance comes, and it will, don't crumble. Don't over-explain, don't beg. Simply acknowledge and move on. This shows inner security. Radiate self-sufficiency. Show through your actions and energy that you're already complete. You're not seeking validation. You're inviting her into your world. That's what makes it magnetic. The conversation formula. Now, let's add structure. I'm not giving you lines or scripts because that would only make you sound fake. What you need is a formula, a way to flow through conversation naturally while keeping her radar lit up. Here's the formula. Initiate. Start with a direct, confident opener. It can be simple. Hi, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you. Short, clear, and no fluff. Engage. Ask open-ended questions that show curiosity without interrogation. Example. What's your favorite part about living here? Share. Reveal pieces of yourself, your opinions, your passions, your perspective. Not to impress, but to show depth. Tease. Sprinkle light, playful indirectness. Example. She says she loves coffee. You smirk and say, so you're one of those coffee addicts, huh? Direct. Move the interaction forward with clarity. Example. I'm grabbing coffee Saturday. You should come. This flow keeps her engaged, intrigued, and curious. It balances subtle indirect playfulness with the directness that signals leadership. Examples and action. Let's bring this to life. Scenario 1. Meeting someone new. Weak. Hi, I'm John. I just thought maybe I'd say hello. Strong. Hi, I'm John. Nice to meet you. Short, confident, direct. Scenario 2. Inviting her out. Weak. Would you maybe want to hang out sometime? Strong. I'm heading to the art show Friday. Join me. Direct, decisive. Scenario 3. Facing rejection. Weak. Oh, I understand, but are you sure? Maybe another time. Strong. Got it. Take care. Simple. Confident. No wasted energy. Notice the pattern. Weak communication seeks approval. Strong communication assumes value. Why women remember you. Here's the truth. Most men blend into background. Their communication is timid, their body language uncertain, their presence forgettable. But when you combine direct communication with the subconscious triggers of body language, tone, and presence, you instantly separate yourself from 99% of men. You stop being background noise. You become the man she remembers, the one she thinks about later, the one who lingers in her mind without her knowing why. That's the power of mastering both the spoken and unspoken rules. The warrior's presence. At this point, it's no longer just about words. It's about embodying presence. Presence is the silent confidence that radiates from within. It's the way you walk, the way you pause, the way you make eye contact. It's the fact that you don't chase approval. You don't beg for validation. You already know your worth. Presence is what makes people lean in when you speak. It's what makes a woman curious about you without you even trying. And it's what makes men respect you without a single explanation. Practical daily training. Here's how to build this into your daily life. Practice directness in small interactions. Order food with clarity. Greet people with steady eye contact. Set boundaries politely, but firmly. Record yourself speaking. Notice your tone, pace, and filler words. Cut out hesitation. Replace it with steady rhythm. Use silence. Next time you make a statement, pause afterward. Feel the weight of silence amplify your words. Shift your posture. Each day, remind yourself, shoulders back, chest open, chin slightly up. It changes everything about how people perceive you. Parting thoughts. Remember this. Your words are not just words. They are signals. Every sentence you speak, every pause you hold, every glance you give communicates your value. When you speak like a warrior, you don't just interact, you influence. You don't just talk. You leave impressions that echo long after the conversation ends. Women notice it subconsciously. Men respect it consciously. And slowly, almost without realizing it, your entire world shifts. Opportunities come faster. Attention follows naturally. Influence becomes effortless. This is the path of transformation. It begins with mastering direct communication. It deepens by aligning with the subconscious radar. And it solidifies when you embody presence, when you no longer need to prove value, because you live it. So the question is, will you practice? Will you commit? Will you awaken the warrior inside you, the version of yourself that commands respect, attracts effortlessly, and leads with purpose? The choice is yours. And if you're ready for more, if you want to break down the psychological triggers of attraction in even greater detail, to show you how to hardwire influence into every interaction, then let me know in the comments. Say, helpful. We need part 2. Because if enough of you demand it, I'll release the next level. The secrets that go beyond communication into pure psychological mastery. Don't miss it, because the men who apply this knowledge never see the world the same way again.